Hey everybody, it is Mindset Monday and I am here in our live today at 11:11 because I'm going to be in here for the next few days at 11:11 to share some wisdom and some insights about a process that I kind of stumbled upon by recognizing the way that I do one thing is the way that I do everything. And the way that I work with my naturopathic clients can actually be really beneficial for working in my business, but I didn't quite understand it. So I wanted to check in and see if this rang true for you and see how it felt. Hey Carly, hey Tessa, hey anybody else who is watching who isn't saying hello. Hey Jane, nice to see you. So what I recognized when my clients were coming to see me right back at the beginning was that they weren't terribly motivated to change. They would come and I would want to be the nicest I could be for them. I wanted to, positivity is obviously one of my strong suits and my traits, and optimism, I'm always more optimistic for an outcome of somebody than not. And I really used to overdial this positivity and optimism, so much so that my clients wouldn't do the thing that I would ask them to do. Because I would be telling them that their situation was actually better than it really truly was. So a couple of months after that, I finally got my microscope. My background's in pathology, so I was really excited to get my microscope because I'm so used to using it for the decade before I became a naturopath that I had it in front of me. And the thing about my microscope is that you can't run away from the truth. When you're looking at somebody's cells, the truth is in there. Like, you can't just make up a nice positive optimistic perspective on the fact that their cells are clumped, dehydrated, aren't working as well or as optimal as they can be. Hey Christina, nice to see you, and anybody else who's watching. And so not being able to run away from the fact made it so much easier for me to get really real with them about what was going on. And what evolved from having those conversations was, in my practice, as I am doing a consultation, one of the first things is to get really real on where your client is at. Getting really real means having a hard conversation and leaning in and telling them about the impact of what's actually truly happening. And once I started to do that, it was like a lever became really available to me and the client to really step back, see the whole perspective of it, how it's currently happening to them, how it's affecting their body, how it's affecting their mind, how it's affecting all the people around them, how it's affecting their family, and if they literally do nothing about it, what that could look like down the track. And if we're talking about a HbA1c result, or we're talking about an ESR that's out, or some other test, remember I'm a pathology background. For some of you guys who do bone or muscle testing or other ways and means to really get to the nuts and bolts of what's going on for somebody, when you actually tell them the truth of what's going on for them, they have a chance to choose what to do about it and which direction they would like their future to go with it. Now, fast forward to when my husband found out that I had been hiding all of my credit card statements, and I'd been racking up a good, decent amount of tens of thousands of dollars worth of supplier bills that I hadn't been telling him about. Now, again, if I got really real, I'd been telling myself the whole time that I'd get round to the bills, and I'd get round to paying those things, and I'd get round to looking at that stuff, maybe at tax time, maybe at GST time, maybe I'll just hide my head in the sand and continue to do it that way. It wasn't until I got really real about it and had a conversation with him about it that I could then create an action plan and steps forwards. But I had to get really real with the fact that that was tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt. Like, that money wasn't going into our family, that was going into supplier bills that I wasn't asking my clients for the money for when they came and I saw them. I had to get really real that I had money blocks. I had to get really real that I had pricing issues. I had to get really real that I didn't know much about business. I had to get really real that I wasn't doing the things that I needed to get my hobby at the time to turn into a business. The thing is, the exact same stuff that I was doing with my clients was exactly what I needed to do for my business. So this is one of the reasons that I created the Naturepreneur Assessment. And it came out today. And if you haven't seen it, I'll stick the link in the notes. And it is, how can you get really real with what's actually going on in your business? What's working? Awesome. We celebrate that all the time here in the Hub. And we can do that for our clients as well. What's working? Awesome. Celebrate. But the gift and the change will happen when you're truly honest about what's not working and what absolutely isn't a thing that's working anymore, that we could even use the term broken, that we need to maybe shift out, that we need to do something about, that we need to learn more skills on, that we need to talk to somebody about. But you don't know what your next step is until you know that there has been a whole series of steps that you've been ignoring that are in front of you. So am I just talking to myself here, or is any of this ringing true for you? Put your hand up if you've been hiding that you've got website shame. You've been hiding that you don't even have a website. You've been hiding the bills. You might have been hiding your inner vision and dream of creating something else in your practice or online. You haven't told anybody about it. And until just like our clients, they are hiding eating the chocolate. They're hiding not going and getting their exercise. They're hiding the fact that they feel rubbish until they get really real with it, and then they can shift and change something. We got some hands up. Cool, awesome. Hey Fiona, hey Anita, hey Chanel, hey Carmel, hey Kristen, hey Moira as well, hey Melanie, hey Jackie, and Tess has got a hand up too. Yeah. And it happens time and time again. The beautiful thing about today is it's a new day. And just like Chanel just mentioned, it's a new financial year. And this gives you a really great opportunity and a really great time to audit and take stock of where you're actually at and where you want to be at the end of this financial year. But first you've got to see where you're at. You've got to see what's been tripping you up. You've got to see what you've been fibbing yourself, that maybe there isn't as many people on my list or coming and seeing me or doing the things, or I have been wasting a whole bunch of time on social media, or I have been doing some other thing. That when it comes to your time, efforts, energy, and money, where's it all going? What's happening with it? And is it truly where you want to be? And then what is your next step? So that's bringing it back to the Naturepreneur Assessment. So the Naturepreneur Assessment is available at the moment at tammyguest.com/assessment. It just gives you a little bit of an idea about where you're truly at in your business. I want you to answer it really honestly. The statements that are on there, what rings most true for you. And then there's a video to explain what you might be hiding in the background, might be not visible to you, that you might not have seen. And then it gives you a little map as to what could be useful in your next step. Now, your gold nugget might be just pressing the button. Your gold nugget might be one of the statements that's actually in the quiz, or your gold nugget might be the results that you get, or the ideas or the aha moments that you get. Just like for our clients, the whole journey itself is where the gold is if we choose to look at it. So I know that this assessment is in its infancy. I'm really excited about it evolving, but I really, really want the best for our profession. And for me to want the best for my clients as a naturopath, I had to get really real in the beginning. And I want you to get really real and take this opportunity this week to do the assessment and see what comes up. See where your next step might be. See what you might have had in your blind spot. See what is available to you on the other side of actually taking the action. Cool. All right, Chanel says, I'm changing all my protocols, policies, working on my blocks and stepping away from consulting. Awesome. Alignment. Beautiful. Anita says, I was hiding out, but now I'm ready to shout it from the rooftops. Yay! So good to see you out and about and visible, Anita. Very cool. And that's one of the steps as well in the map of becoming visible and getting your message out there. Fiona, I'm actually planning my spending and directing my cash to build systems. Yes! Another step in the right direction. We've got a big chunk of one of the maps is all around money and how we can create flow and systems for that to continue. Awesome, Fiona. Hey, Rowena, nice to see you, lovely. Amanda, I've just done the assessment and got some gold from it already. Beautiful. I'm so, so pleased. So, like I said, my intention is to just give you a little bit of an aha moment, however that comes about for you, and to know that you're not alone. Notice in all of the comments that we've had, and even in my experience personally as a naturopath, but also mentoring a couple of hundred nats myself, nats, nuts, and herbies and prackies, we're not in this alone. You're not the only one going through this. You're not the only one that's hiding. You're not the only one that hasn't quite, figured all of the things out, and that we're all in this journey together. So hopefully you get that sense from the assessment too. And I will catch you on the video tomorrow at 11:11 for another Tuesday Tips. I'm going to go live at 11:11 every day this week, and I'll catch you then. See you. Bye.